Teenagers, hello. This week in our short share on the Psalms, I wanted to draw your attention to an aspect of God's character that is so important for us in these very challenging, very daunting times. And that is the protective nature of our God. In this world, there is so much that we need protection from. There has always been a debate, an argument, sometimes even a fight on whether God allows the suffering and the evil that we live with in this world, and that affects us. It affects all of us in different ways. But guys, we live in a fallen world, fallen because of humankind's propensity to sin. And so we really can't blame God for that. What we can do, though, is to ask God's protection from the effects of the fallenness of the world that we live in. We can call on Him to protect us from the results of living in this fallen world, of the consequences of what fallen people do, whether it's us or other people, okay? Because there's consequences and we all have to live with them. Some of us don't deserve the consequences of other people's behavior, but that is the world that we live in. So in this time of pandemic, which actually has made all the other yuckiness, the ugliness, the things that we feel, it's made it all worse. And it's also made it very clear how some people suffer so much more than others because of the brokenness of the world. Poverty's got worse. The people who can't afford healthcare, when you're sick with something like COVID-19 and you need a ventilator, well, good healthcare is what stands between you living and dying. And so we've started to see that that things are really, really bad. And sometimes they feel 10 times worse because they're staring at us, they're glaring us in the face. And I'm going to go through a little list of things, and I'll bet that you will find something on this list that you have had to deal with over the past year or so, 18 months that we've been struggling with this pandemic. So a lot of us have felt anger. We are mad because our plans were cancelled. None of my kids can celebrate big birthdays, a 16th, an 18th, and a 21st. Matrics last year and this year probably will miss out on a matric dance. You've had to study and learn in different ways, learn new things. Maybe you haven't done as well at school as you used to, just because things are so different and so challenging. So we have been angry and we've gotten bitter. We are confused because what is this thing? Sometimes it's overwhelming, and then there's all these new variants. It's like we're going through the Greek alphabet of variants, and what are these symptoms, and will I get all the symptoms, and if my mom gets sick or my dad and they've got an underlying disorder, will something bad happen to them? So sometimes we can feel very overwhelmed, and we can actually get to a point where the overwhelmedness, I don't know if that's a word, almost becomes fear. So we've been isolated, so we kind of protected in our little bubbles, and then when we go out we're scared, and we're feeling fear on all different levels, and because of all this isolation, and we haven't been able to connect with people like we used to. So many of us who are in jobs where we are interacting with people all the time have really struggled at not being able to see people, because actually you are the air that we breathe, and so we are sometimes prone to a bit of depression, and then we feel sad, and we are feeling grief. We are sad because we have lost a lot. I feel like I lost the whole of 2020. I don't even know what it was all about. And we have lost loved ones through death to COVID-19. We have lost so much. Some of us lost a year of studying. Some of us lost a year of work. Some of us just lost friends because we couldn't keep up with them. And we've all been through so much. Can you identify with any of that? I mean, guys, it's a lot. It's a lot. And then on top of being a normal teenager, you'll go into social media and your parents would have said to you, there's no ways you're going out in this pandemic. Stay at home, no socializing. And then you look on social media and your friends are all out or at each other's houses having a good time, and you feel you feel upset and bitter about that. So there's a lot going on. So here's the thing about the Psalms. They show us how God wants to protect us, how he wants to shield us and be a refuge for us in these difficult times. So turn to the Psalms, I tell you. God can give you protection from all of it. And I'm going to share some Psalms with you, just some extracts, just so you can see. Psalm 34, verses 7 to 8 says, "The angel of the Lord stands guard around those who fear him and love him, and he delivers them. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the one who takes refuge in him." Psalm 17, verses 8 to 9. "Lord, keep me as the apple of your eye. Hide me in the shadows of your wings from the wicked who are out to destroy me, from my mortal enemies who surround me." Psalm 121, verse 7 to 8. "The Lord will keep you from harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and your going, both now and forevermore." Psalm 32, verse 7. "You are my hiding place, Lord. You will protect me from trouble and surround me with songs of deliverance." Psalm 3, verse 3. "But you, Lord, are a shield around me." Sorry, I think the cat's caught a bird. That's what that flapping is. Psalm 27, verse 1. I think that bird is saying Psalms. "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life, and of whom shall I be afraid?" Psalm 91, verse 2. "I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress." Psalm 91, verse 4. "He will cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and your fortification." I love that one. He will cover you with his wings. That's what a mommy bird does. Not that one. To her babies, she covers them with her wings. Psalm 116, verse 8. "You, Lord, have delivered me from death." Psalm 31. In different places, it uses these words. "You are my rock, my fortress, my refuge." Psalm 18, verse 6. "You reached down from on high and took hold of me. You drew me out of deep waters." And I'm going to stop now because I could go on forever. Really, guys, the Psalms are just a whole big book of God's protection, about how he protected the psalmist, however many they were, when they were in times of need and in times of desperation and times of trouble. He protects us body, mind, and soul. And so I encourage you again to start flipping through those pages, the pages of the book of Psalms. God bless you and God keep you, and I will see you again in this funny, weird way next week. Love you guys.